Oh boy. Um, Guys, I don't typically do like hot topics and things like that whenever it comes to cars. I don't talk about the latest and greatest stuff that's coming out. It's just not really what my channel's about, and I try to stay away from it. And tonight what we're going to talk about, guys, I'm not super educated on this. I'm not going to lie to you. I wish I was. I know some of you have seen some of these videos. I'm not going to name any names in this particular video because I don't even know where this is headed yet, and I don't want to have any legal repercussion, by mentioning names and things like that. But there's a certain company that tunes cars that has been visited by certain individuals, and looks like there's some stuff coming down the pipeline with these companies tuning cars, right? We don't really know what's going on right now. Nobody really knows, but this is what I'll say. It doesn't look good. I mean, we've kind of been headed in this direction, I think, for a long time. And I'm definitely not taking the three-letter word side on this by any means, but we've been pushing the envelope for a while. I always kind of had a feeling that it was going to come to this, but it looks like we've got something going on, guys. We've got some issues. They're not companies like this that make aftermarket off-road style parts are just not going to be able to survive. So how is this going to affect what it is that we do? How is this going to affect companies? I don't know. You got some pretty large companies out there, guys, that sell a lot of parts, a lot of racing parts. I don't know, how is this going to work? Because you might be able to keep certain parts for actual like off-road vehicles. Sure, you might be able to do that. You might be able to sell those. I'll give you a good example, an actual race car, NHRA race car. I mean, sure, I'm sure they're going to be exempt from a lot of this stuff. My 65 Fastback, it didn't have any emissions controls or anything like that on it. So that car may be exempt, but what about everybody else? What about the weekend warrior? What about the guys, taking their cars out to the track on the weekends and they want an off-road H-pipe? They don't want a catted, H-pipe setup or X-pipe setup on their car. What are they going to do? Are they going to be able to take their car to a tuner and actually get this thing tuned? Is it going to be beneficial for a tuner to have a business and make money tuning these cars? I mean, there's just so many questions right now. Just know this, guys, there's something in the mix right now, and it doesn't seem to look good. I'll say that. We've already had one company back out. If this is legit, it looks pretty bad, because when I first heard this from a certain tuner, a certain company, a big, well-known tuner or tuning company, I should say, I thought to myself, well, maybe there's nothing to it. They were visited by a certain group that basically like pulled all their files or records, scrubbing through all of their computers and everything else. And from what I understand, it was a pretty cordial visit, but that's always how these things go, guys. They're not gonna come in and be assholes. They're gonna come in, they're gonna do their job, shake hands, whatever the case may be, make you feel good about it, and they're gonna go handle their business. It's out of probably the guys that pick the computers up. It's out of their control. They're not even the ones pulling the strings here. They've got people up above them that are pulling their strings. So these people come and they visit with you and they look through your stuff and they make you feel like, nothing really to worry about here. They leave, and a couple months later or weeks or whatever the case may be, bad things are happening, and there's nobody to turn to. So there again, if you guys don't really kind of know what I'm talking about, what it is the aftermarket world seems to be being hit like really hard right now by a certain group. And I don't know. I mean, if this happens and they really, really crack down on off-road parts for these cars and trucks, I don't know how some of these companies are going to stay in business. I don't know what this means for us. I have no clue. So just be mindful, guys. Kind of keep an eye out. I'm not saying this is the end of the world, but definitely doesn't look good. You know, these cars are super fun, man. We have a blast with these things. Been able to buy, you know, parts for them and not have to worry about the emissions because we're taking them to the track and we're racing them. That's what makes these things so fun, right? I wasn't gonna make this video. I really didn't want to. I didn't want to get involved in it because I don't know the ins and outs. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've just read a few things on Facebook, but it does look like something is happening in the aftermarket world. So guys, I hope that's not the case. I love what we do with these cars, and I hope it doesn't go away. This is a thing though that we got to remember. It definitely affects us, probably, possibly, in the aftermarket world, as far as like, there again, tuning software, off-road exhaust type setups, things like that. But the ones that are probably going to get hit the hardest are the guys with the newer cars. You know, you just went out and bought yourself a 2021 Mustang or Camaro or Hellcat or whatever the case may be, even a new truck. Those are the guys that seem to be, that's going to be hit the hardest, I should say. There are more of those vehicles on the road than there are these. These cars didn't have a whole lot of emission controls and things like that on them anyway. But these newer cars, a lot of things are being deleted and stuff like that. And the diesel trucks, I know that's probably a huge thing right now. I just really feel bad for some of the guys that have poured their heart and soul, you know, their life savings, everything that they've got into these companies. And right now they're hanging on by a thread. They don't know what's going to happen. And maybe nothing really comes of this. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, right? I don't want to be that guy. So guys, just stay positive. It's good for right now. We can buy up all the parts that we want. Now it's tax time, right? Some of you get money back, some of you don't get money back. If you did get a little bit of money back, now may be the time that you want to go ahead and pick up some of these parts that maybe you were holding out on. You know, especially like exhaust stuff. I think that's going to be a big thing, and tuning software and stuff like that. Also, if you want to get your car tuned, you might want to go ahead and kind of be looking into that, just to be safe is all I'm saying, right? We don't want to miss the boat here. Once the dominoes start to fall, there's going to be a lot of things go down, right? So if it's just off-road type stuff that's going to be limited, think about the effect that's going to have. Think about all these guys that are buying these cars and deleting this and deleting that, and trucks and stuff, right? The tuners aren't going to be able to make any money because they don't want to be held liable for this. Then you got the aftermarket world that steps back and is like, you know what? I'm not going to be making all these parts anymore. There's no point in us making them because nobody's going to buy them because there's nobody to tune these vehicles. It could be against the law to do it. You know what I mean? There could be a tax put on modifications and stuff like that. It's going to all trickle downhill if that is the case, and that's definitely not a good thing. People are going to lose jobs. Companies are going to go out of business. This is a huge market. It truly is. There's a lot of people that are involved in selling these aftermarket parts. Anyway, guys, there again, nothing is written in stone yet, so you guys stay positive. Don't look too far into the future because nobody knows. It may actually get better. Who knows? All right, guys, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead, wrap this video up. And as always, thanks for watching.